It's a medium,
Yeah, that's nice.
right? I
Yeah,
usually wear
yeah.
baggy shirts because
No,
it's cool.
tighten up.
Tighten up.
But I
Tighten
was
up.
like looking in the mirror. I was like, damn, I look fucking good.
You look like a European tourist.
Which is,
It's
I
a
mean,
look.
Europeans look gay, and
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, you do. You have the good look.
Are we recording?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome to Sissy Boys.
Welcome to Sissy
Welcome to
Boys.
Sissy Boys.
I'm Dan. I'm an LA comedian.
I'm Cooper. I'm an LA comedian.
I'm Matt. I'm a drag queen.
I'm also
In,
Dan's manager.
Cooper's my man.
I'm a drag queen in Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm Matt's manager also. Hey, if you're in Appleton, Wisconsin, come out and see me. This will drop way after my shows, but
Maybe someone from Appleton's listening right now. Thanks for coming to the shows. I hope you liked my set. It was so good to come out with Dan. Thanks for bringing me. Seriously. I'm really excited.
You're flying out tonight?
tomorrow at 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
we're leaving
Is
at 4.
your girlfriend driving you to the airport?
No, I'm driving myself.
Hell yeah. Are you
Yeah.
parking your car at the airport?
No, I mean I'm getting an Uber there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
your story straight.
Well, listen, I'm actually driving to Long Beach to stay with a Russian family.
What if that's all you've been doing when you're not even going on the road?
No, I'm staying with my friends in Long
You're
Beach.
just really into this Russian family.
So Cooper, we have something to talk about.
Oh my God, what?
Cooper's hand is broken.
Cooper has a large bandage on his hand. Now, Cooper, before we tell the story of how you got the bandage, let's just do a little background to your life of punching.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been in like the punching walls game for a minute, probably from like the age of 12. It's how I learned to plaster a wall.
You're diagnosed bipolar 2.
I'm diagnosed.
Are you?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, babe.
Wow, you're one of the few mentally ill people I know who don't talk about it every second.
I mean, I talk about
Yeah,
it.
Cooper talks.
I talk
Does
about
he?
it roundabout.
You don't listen.
I don't
like how I keep going.
We just do a flashback to every time Cooper's like, I'm mentally ill, and you're just like looking at yourself in the mirror flexing.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Wait,
I don't
you're
nec-
diagnosed bipolar. Do you
Yeah.
take medication?
Yeah.
What do
Take
you
mood
take?
stabilizers, lamotrigine.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
You're not on Lamictal anymore?
It's the same thing. It's
Okay.
generic.
So
I should have
okay.
said Lamictal.
Yeah, Lamictal, I know that one. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't necessarily say bipolar 2 a lot, but like, I'm punching telephone poles, which, is similar to talking about.
Well, let's not
Sorry.
Yes.
let's
Sorry to
not
spoil.
oversell. So,
Yeah.
so Cooper.
What happened when you were 18 years old?
When I was 18, I was still punching walls then.
Yeah.
Were you punching humans?
We don't need to do that.
Oh,
one.
I thought that's what
No,
you were
we don't
getting
need
at.
to. No, no.
okay.
No,
Whatever.
it's strictly walls today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get
walls.
into that later.
We'll get into
Wow,
the
I
other
did not
story
know
later.
that. I am on Zoloft and Wellbutrin and Prep.
I'm not on anything.
Are you not on
No,
anything?
Nothing at all.
Do you
He's
take
on life.
vitamins?
I've never been on anything. I don't even take vitamins.
Damn, I take like 8 pills every morning.
That's awesome. Listen, I love pills are sick. If I would be happy to do them. No one has told me to do them, so I just don't.
You should do them.
Okay, thank you. Finally,
You should
I'm
take
free.
my meds for a week.
No, I've never been on. It's so funny. When I was younger, I had a skin condition that they put me on medication for that made me gain truly 25 pounds.
In how long?
In like, I gained 25 pounds in like a month. Like it increases your appetite, whatever it was. I had like fifth
Interesting.
disease or whatever, and they gave me a medication for it. And since then, I was like, I'm not taking anything.
You had what disease?
Fifth disease or something like that. It's called. It's like a skin condition.
Oh.
Okay.
But anyway,
Did you
so-
have acne?
No, never had acne.
Like just dry skin or something?
It was some like flaky stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, so Cooper is at a open mic in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, before we tell this story, I also want to say you work at the Comedy Store and are a doorman.
Yeah.
So you do sets in, some would say, the most coveted room of stand-up comedy in the United States, maybe.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid argument.
You could make an argument
There's
for
really
it,
only like 1 to maybe 2 places I would
that you
compete.
could.
Yeah.
Right. So you frequently do sets at places like that. Now, where were you when you had a set that made you so angry you punched a wall?
I was at an open mic off Santa Monica Boulevard at midnight that is full of a lot of comics that like to just sort of get really drunk. They're also sort of pandemic comics who are sort of like, comedy is you can't censor it, so
Right.
they're like they like getting fucked up. They're
Is
a
this
little
that mic that's behind the shoe store?
No, that's a different.
Can you say the mic or you don't want to?
I mean, I could.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I don't
it's
know
Third
if it
Wheel.
would-
It's
yeah,
Third
it's
Wheel.
this place called Third Wheel.
I
don't know
haven't
if
been yet.
Yeah,
It's
for the
not
mo-
a bad place. Listen, we go
I
there
heard
all
it's
the time.
great. It's
Yeah.
the Midnight Mic, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I would
So
love
what
to go.
happened in your set that made you break your hand?
It was more so what happened after, because in my set I went up and I was having some fun. I was doing some riffing, started my jokes, and the jokes were going fine. And then it was funny because during my set, like 15 people walked in the room, and I just began bombing.
Oh,
And I even joked, I was like, man, so many people came in during my set, and all they've seen is just like dog shit.
absolute
and then,
trash.
And then,
I've been there.
And then nobody laughed, which is like,
Oh,
oof,
no.
geez, yeesh mageesh. And then I walked out, and then I asked my roommate, I was like, man, what happened in there? And he was like, your jokes weren't good enough. And then he was like, and then he was giving constructive advice. He's like, you're just taking too long to get to the setup. And then I don't really know why. I mean, I definitely like let myself do it, if not made myself. But I got like all like ramped up, you know what I mean? And then I just punched the telephone pole. and then he thinks it's like really funny when I'm like really angry and having like,
Well, just after an open mic set, it just makes
it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, because I've let for some reason this place build up in my head too much. I think it's because I came in and I was like, I don't really like a lot of these comics. I don't think they're all very funny. And I'm like, I'm rude in my head. Like I'm not respecting
But
them.
it always matters. That's the funny thing is if you go into any like situation where you're in your head like these idiot or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
you always do bad because like one of the fundamental things of comedy, even if you're a comic that's like your whole thing is fuck the audience, you're all pieces of shit. Like for the most part, if you have anything in your brain where it's like I'm better than these people, you tank.
It's it's love
Unless you're incredibly. I mean, I think there's some people who are very funny who probably think that about themselves.
No, they do
or who do
internally,
very well.
but they don't externalize it.
But
Yeah.
I
Like,
would say yes, exactly. And
Do
I
you
would
know what I
say
mean?
like what I'm always telling myself before I get in any room, and because I have a very competitive mind, and so before anytime I feel something like that, I'm like, how can I? I'm like, oh, you're a fucking clown. Like, how
I've
can
actually
you have
seen
fun?
you before a set, and all you do is rub your body and kiss yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, you kept trying to chest bump me really hard
None of that is true.
in the walls. and
No,
you were
but I
like,
literally just convinced I'm like, Matt, you like this. It's fun. Have fun. Be silly. Have fun.
Well, I mean, Argus Hamilton said comedy's love with laughs in between. And I think about that a lot. And I've been having trouble with this mic because I'm like, damn, like I really need to love these people and like, like appreciate them because I have to give them love to get it back.
Dude, when you told me you punched a wall after bombing at Third Wheel, I mean, it's the funny. It's like, I mean, the equivalent of a chef like punching his toaster because he fucked up breakfast.
You
it's
laughed,
like the lowest stake.
You
No,
laughed
no,
for
but
so
like
long.
fucked up breakfast at Wendy's.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
for himself before work.
Right.
You know what I
Before
mean?
work.
Just practice.
Yeah, just practice
Yeah,
it.
not even real.
But because when you punched yourself in the face hard enough to break your tooth, which we haven't even touched on that.
Yeah, right. That's a good story.
That's a great story.
Were you drunk?
no.
I was more understanding of that because it's like it was a show.
And I
You know
drove-
what
yeah.
That's how fucked up I am. Where I'm like,
No, you're
oh, you punch yourself in the face hard enough to break your tooth, but shows are like that.
That wasn't my show, was it?
No, I drove to another state.
That's
to
so
do this.
insulting.
No.
No, I was
He
very.
was
I
just
stormed out.
visibly, adamantly very. He was like, when he did my show, which everyone liked Cooper at my show. He does this thing where if he doesn't crush in the first minute, then he tends to be like, I suck, and you throw yourself under the bus.
Yeah, I felt
where
really-
everyone else is like, we like this guy. Obviously, like the first minute wasn't fire, but we're with you.
I got insecure because there were two just like hot, trendy gay guys that were like so fun and were giving so much love to the room. And then I went on and, I don't consider myself necessarily like an angry fuck you comic, but I'm like,
You threw him off.
I can be like aggressive.
You're not
and
the
shit.
kind of comic I would be like two gay guys on a Saturday night trying to have fun. Let's go see Cooper.
Yeah, and then I didn't get laughs until I was like, I suck dick too. Like you can like me,
Right,
and then they
right.
laugh, and but
Damn, I should start trying that.
yeah, you could say it.
Yeah,
It's
I can
fine.
just say it.
Say it, yeah.
You also don't even have to be gay to. You can just say that. So
No,
Half the people who say they're gay today aren't even gay.
obviously I wouldn't do that. That's stolen valor.
it is stolen valor. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I ruined it then. But yeah, I mean, leaving this mic was bad because it's like I I'm very rude to those people. At least internally, I don't respect them. So then when they judge me, it's like it's like that phrase where it's like I don't want to be part of a club that would have me, but this is like it hurts more to be denied by a club that you don't even
want to be a part of, and they are rejecting you
Yeah.
before you even like. It's like walking by a bunch of guys in the army, and they're like, "Yeah, you could never join." It's like I wasn't planning on it, but also this kind of.
But fuck you! I could have if I wanted.
I could be in the army.
Yeah.
But you walked into that room saying, I'm better than all of you. And then when you didn't do better than them, then you were like, wait, what the fuck? This was a given.
Yeah, it's a major problem. And I was outwardly aggressive to them that night, actually, because one of the comics was like, hey, nobody sign up if you don't have 3 minutes. And then I said, none of you guys have 3 minutes. All you do is talk about the open mic.
Whoa.
And then they were all doing little jabs like that, but then I said that and nobody laughed. And then I think I was just in a bad mood, and I was like, "Oh, he made a joke, but it was true."
Oh.
And then like
Cooper really gets me to understand the nature of anger, because you are one of the sweetest, kindest people in the world.
oh man,
But there
really?
is,
That's so nice.
I really mean that. But there is
kind.
a little angry man, a little angry mouse that lives inside of you that sometimes just takes the steering wheel and really crashes the car every time.
I also drove really dangerously on the way home with Sam.
You do that, and that's bad, because we had a moment with you driving bad when you were angry that was real bad.
Yeah, that was really embarrassing. You know what's so crazy is, one time there's a guy crossing the street. He was jaywalking, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I don't
Getting
think
mad at jaywalking.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would believe this, but I truly did accidentally accelerate, and so I was still far from him. But then Dan, like rightly so, was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "I'm so sorry," and you were like, "That's not cool," and I was like, "It's not at all." What's crazy about my roommate is I was driving insane, and I was screaming, and he was nonstop laughing, like nonstop. Which
Sam has a nice little dance with the devil.
Yeah.
When he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep, he's dancing with the devil.
He absolutely, I mean, one of his favorite things in the world is me in Crisis.
Right.
And
oh yeah.
because it is funny. Because I'm like a little guy, and then I get all angry and I like hurt myself, and it's like it's silly, really.
I mean, Sam is openly a former heroin addict. Like, he's chill as hell.
Right.
You know, he's like loving. You're his upper.
Matt, you don't have any anger at all, it seems.
I am really bad at showing my like true emotions.
Right.
But I don't think you take things personally as much as me, maybe.
I
don't know.
I
mean, I'm not in your head.
Do you
but
think the hyper aggressive sex that you have kind of abates your anger?
it's all you talk about?
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
I'm like, how have you been? You're like, I've just been having a lot of hyper aggressive sex, and
I for the last
No.
4 months I've had sex with one person, which is psycho, because before that it was multiple partners a week for 6 years.
Right.
do you guys fight at all? Or when you get mad, do you talk about it?
The guy I'm dating?
Yeah.
We have not had a single argument.
Damn.
And
That's
it's been not even in like we talk about real shit, and he's the sweetest person I've ever met. Literal angel.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Super nice. I mean, this conversation isn't interesting. He is.
Right.
But
I think
no.
people love love.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was just like, oh, I have dated so many people that are uninterested in me that it wasn't meant. Like, I was not meant to spend my time with that person, but this person actually wants to spend time with me.
Well, what's funny is that you do have a really sweet relationship with this person, but it is still you in the relationship. So you will say stuff like yeah. So I ripped his head back and just absolutely blasted all over both of his eyes, and I was like, I think I could spend the rest of my life with him.
Yeah. it is fun. You will text the group chat. You're like, sorry, I just blew a load on his face. So we're like, why don't you could just text back. You don't need to be like, here's what I was doing.
Oh, did I say that?
I thought it was funny.
It was great.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
It's just funny to know that it happened minutes before, where you're like, whoa, someone got cummed on? Because you know it's happening.
I
but,
felt
you know.
honored that you would, you're opening your phone that quick afterwards. Tell the boys.
The
The boys are strong.
He's
dude.
wiping himself off, and you're like, I got to tell the bros.
He is. This is like the first time it's happened in my life, but he's someone that I'm so attracted to that I worry about if I'm able to get hard because I'm so excited to have sex with him.
How?
The other day,
You're so into him, you go soft?
literally, like the other day, I
Like a dog that, like, their
the
hips
other
get
day
weird?
I was
You know what I mean?
What do you
Like when a dog gets too excited, it like can't walk.
No,
and like you get so
truly.
excited, you can't even get hard.
I was fucking him yesterday, and I made him come while I was fucking him, and then all I want, like, you know, I wanted to come so badly, and because I wanted to come on him so badly, I couldn't. Come.
Right.
I overcompensated.
We call that the yips.
Is that what it's
in
called?
golf.
Are you
Yeah,
being
it's the
serious?
yips. Yeah, the yips.
I got the yips real bad, and I told him, I was like, I have
golf.
performance anxiety
Yeah.
right now.
It's actually a term that comes from man-on-man sexual intercourse. Is the yips.
Okay, you're
and then
joking
they
right
applied
now.
it to
That is
golf.
okay. He's
that
joking.
one's a joke, but it is called the yips in golf.
The
when, like, you
yips.
can't
Okay, I've
swing.
got the
Yeah.
yips. I told him, I was like, I have performance. I want to come on. He was laying ass up on my bed, and I was like, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen. I want to come on your ass so badly. And he was like, holy shit, this is hot. And then I couldn't come.
Damn. Interesting. You wanted it too bad.
And yeah, he's gonna leave me because of that.
No, you got to go Michael Jordan mode, dude.
I like.
You got to start taking that, dude, and you got to start internalizing it, just like The Last Dance.
Yeah, you should. And that offended me. You should say that.
And I took that personally.
And I took that personally. I loved just the image of just you looking at his ass and being like, that makes me so fucking horny. He's like, fuck, that's so hot. It's like both you guys just being like, fuck, this is so sick.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
all.
that's
I'm
like
this is the hottest thing. I am not gonna come. God, this is so hot.
He just starts
I'm
thinking
not
you're
gonna
straight.
Feel good.
he's like, are you straight? You say it's hot, but you never come.
Oh,
Yeah, I like come out as bisexual whenever I'm not able to come.
This kinda
I'm like, oh, it's because I'm thinking about women.
Sorry, it's a Wednesday.
This kind of dovetails into what I texted the group chat that I wanted to talk about.
Right.
Where I was walking to the coffee shop near my house, and I wear pretty short shorts sometimes because they feel comfortable and they make me feel nice and they make me feel free.
You don't have to defend it.
And that's
Multiple
why I
gay
do it.
men have asked me if I've seen your package.
Oh,
Gay men are obsessed with Dan, and multiple people have DM'd me asking if I've seen your package, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen him naked. And then they'll go, well, have you seen him in short shorts?
Well, I like wearing them, but and I might not be able to around my my apartment anymore because I'm sitting at a stoplight. It's a stoplight to get to the coffee shop I go to every single morning to write, which makes it even worse. And there's a dude there, like really skinny, looks like a kind of guy you would see at like a heavy metal concert, like a skinny, kind of like bird-looking, strung out kind of guy.
How tall?
Kind of short, kind of like 5'8", but skinny. But
Okay. It was me.
and I quietly, it was kind no, it was like a much uglier Cooper.
It was Tory Lanez.
It was Tory
I was in
Lanez.
disguise.
But so I just hear him kind of talk, and I know he's talking about me, but it's one of those situations where it's like I am keeping my head forward no matter what, and he starts talking louder and louder, but it's like, how about that ass though? How about that ass though? How about that ass though? Hey, how about that ass though? How about that ass though? Just like, and what he's saying is, how about that ass though? How about over and over again?
He's walking behind you?
He's behind me. The sign changes. I start walking. He starts following me closely, saying it. So I turn around and I'm like, "What do you mean?" That's what I say. I go. I don't even say like "fuck off" or whatever. I say, "What do you mean?" Because I want to know what he mean exactly.
What's the big idea?
What's
well,
the big
you're
idea?
objectively wondering about your body. You're like, wait, is
Yeah,
my...
yeah.
You're
I'm like, what is he talking
bro,
about?
Is my ass looking good?
And he goes,
Oh, see, okay.
he goes, "Well, fuck you then."
Whoa.
And then turns around, and so he was like, he had to have been just following me because he turns around and walks the other way, or he just wasn't doing anything in his day. That was probably a big moment in his day, to be honest.
Oh,
with
well,
you.
That was
every
his day.
gay man in Los Angeles is unemployed. Or they are Bryan Singer.
And
What do
this
you mean? No,
podcast-
they're all super employed.
Yes. They're all agents and managers, or they're unemployed.
This podcast is working.
There's
to
no
fix
in
that.
between. There's no gap. What am I trying to say?
The wage gap?
The wage gap
Here's
with
the thing
gay
about this
people
guy.
is
I don't even know
unbelievable.
if he was gay. I was just so confused because
Okay,
the thing,
Dan, he was gay.
the thing is,
This is a straight man following you, just being like,
I guess that's the
God.
most. That's the most.
oh no! Actually, you turned around. He realized you weren't a lesbian.
beautiful
Right.
woman.
and he was like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
But
He
dude,
was so
I was so
pissed.
put off because I was like, because he like stormed off, and I was like, I didn't mean to hurt the guy's feelings.
Oh, my
you know what I
God.
mean? I really felt that in my heart. I was like, this, you know.
He walked away, and you were like, "I'm an ally."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't mean it.
I can see feeling bad for him.
I
You
went
know
to
his
Pride
damage.
in 2018.
I like how like he gave up so easily though, because all you said was, "What do you mean?" So
Yeah.
he still had a chance
I
to
didn't
explain.
say no.
He still could have countered.
He could, yeah.
There was an argument
This
to be
is
had.
Shark Tank, baby.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't.
Cuban
know
said no. Move to Mr. Money. What's his name?
Mr. Money.
There's a guy they call him like
Mr. Wonderful.
Is it Mr. Wonderful?
I think it's Mr. Wonderful.
But also
mean.
at that point in time, he didn't know that you were not gay.
No, he had no
So
idea.
it's kind of sad, like he didn't. You said, "What do you mean?" And then he had a really good opportunity to like have a good comeback or whatever. And he was like, "I mean that you're looking great, and I'm going to get coffee, and you should join."
Hey man,
me.
if he was fucking, if he was shiesty enough, he might be here standing next to me right now during this podcast.
Just standing next to you.
Yeah,
watching.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, but no, I love my neighborhood because it's like the perfect amount of like grimy. Like I never feel like in danger or whatever in my neighborhood, but it's like a perfect example is there's this apartment building right across from mine, and you can hear like a lot of nights this woman just getting absolutely. I don't know how she's like how this is happening so often, but loud sex
Across the street.
across the street. But her window's always open, and you can always hear it.
Oh,
It's
she
like,
must be into that, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
loud, like screaming.
Yeah, she's
And-
exhibition.
And 2 times I've gone. I'm usually doing comedy, so I'm not out there all the time. So 2 times I've gone out there, I've heard it when I like went to just smoke weed for a second. And both times, so the first time there was this dude smoking cigarettes underneath it. He was like this dude. I couldn't really get a good look at him, but old dude. He might have been like old white dude, old Mexican dude. Like you can't really tell, but old dude.
like 74.
Like 70. Like
Okay.
65, 70, smoking a cigarette underneath, and I just clocked him. And then the second time, same dude under
Yeah.
the window, and he looks at me and he gives me the thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's his hangout spot because of what's going on. And it's like
This is in your apartment complex.
no, in my neighborhood, like right on
okay.
my street, and
Okay.
it's like this dude. This is an ecosystem based around that window.
Right.
It's nice.
I mean, I'm
It's,
with that guy. Listening to people having sex is pretty hot.
You like that?
It's very European of him, just hanging out, smoking
A
taking
cigarette.
in the sounds of the city.
Yeah,
Listening
he
to a
thinks
woman
lovemaking is
absolutely
beautiful.
just get clapped.
That'd be funny if it is funny to imagine a routine where it's like, every day at 6 I go out, smoke a cigarette, listen to a lady get pounded.
It's part of his like routine.
Enjoy your life.
Right, like actually, he like ends up solving a murder because he like goes out to listen to her having sex, and he's like, "Where's Helen?"
Right.
And they're like, he's like, "I don't know that her name is Helen. That's just what I've named her."
Like he
after
goes under the
3
window.
years of listening to her.
He just goes under the window. He doesn't hear her. He's like, yo.
Yeah, he's like, wait, that's a different guy up there.
Yeah.
That's a great idea for a movie. Actually,
Jeremy!
That is fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the back window where the guy sees like a murder from another apartment, the Hitchcock movie.
Rear
Except
Window.
it's just a guy. Hey, close enough. It's just a guy under a window listening to a
Rear
lady.
Window, but Cooper's version is called Back Window.
Yep.
It's the gay version. Back
Yeah.
Window.
Ooh, back door. I can make gay porn. Anyway,
You could, dude.
I could do it.
Well, Cooper punched a wall, Matt. Do you
I didn't
have
break
any-
my hand, by the way.
Oh, you didn't break
Just
it.
a button on it. Just a bad bruise. And also, this is very funny. A couple things that happened at the urgent care. When I told the nurse, I was like, yeah, I punched a wall. And he was like, oh, man. I was like, yeah, I hope I, learn to stop doing this. He's like, oh, man, you won't. I still punch walls all the time. And I was like, yo. And then fucking the x-ray guy was like, I told him I was a stand-up comedian, so he was like, yeah, I moved up under the Hollywood side. I'm under the hoe. And was just telling me jokes, taking his mask off, cleaning me with hydrogen peroxide, throwing it. And then one of the best ones was just the doctor was like, yeah, it's not broken. He was like, you should be a boxer. I can't believe you didn't break your hand.
So funny.
And I got to tell you, really felt good to
Must
hear
have
that.
felt
I was
really
like,
nice.
honestly,
Yeah.
thank you for what a silver lining to find of for a lot of other reasons I can't be a boxer, but for you to just be like for me to punch a pole because I was mad about stand-up comedy, and then for him to be like, well, you're really strong though.
Also, let me tell you something. That guy knows nothing about boxing.
Why can't I be a boxer?
Because you punched with your pinky and ring finger, and that's not the part of your hand that you want to punch with. You want to punch with the other 2 knuckles.
But yeah, Cooper.
well, I the middle finger is what hurts the most.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
what-
well, that's not wrapped up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
But
the
it
one
should-
that really. This has cuts. These 2 have cuts.
But those
This-
2 shouldn't have cuts. It should be. Your,
Well, this has a cut from dry skin, and this has a tiny cut. But yeah, I mean, you're right.
it should be.
I'm not gonna defend my. Yeah, you're definitely right about.
Listen, you
my
could be a
ability.
contender. I could take you there.
I
but,
like to believe I'm practicing.
That is the funny thing about LA though. The doctors a lot because I have Medi-Cal, which is the work like really bad.
It's really good.
No, well, It's really good.
I'm
I'm
getting kicked off of it right now.
Let me tell you something. It's good if you like the doctor that they assign you. They assigned me this dude that wanted to put me on statin or whatever for
What does that do?
For my heart. It's like cholesterol lowering drugs.
What?
But it's for like old people because it's bad for you. Yeah. But when he told me that, I got worried and I was like, oh, I have to get on heart because my dad died from like a fucking sudden heart attack. And so he's like, oh, we should put you on statins right now. And I told like my mom and my girlfriend, and both of them were like, that will kill you. That doctor isn't just, that doctor was just like, yeah, he was like a 70-year-old dude who grew up in Boston. And was
Is
just
he
like,
the same guy who was listening to your neighbor having sex?
oh, damn, that would be awesome. That would track because he was honest. He was like, oh, you're from Boston? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, yeah, you know, the cops are, I grew up in Boston. The cops, they get a bad rap right now, but I got to tell you, if you respect them, they respect you. And I was like, how are you going to turn this into this conversation? No, it was a black guy.
Just taking
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
hell
it's like,
yeah.
you can just say, you don't have to ask me where I'm from.
I don't know why I'm saying hell yeah.
I was like, you don't have to ask me where I'm from. You can just say that if you want, but don't act like you want to know where I'm from, because that was just on the tip of your tongue.
Okay, but with do you still have Medi-Cal?
Yeah.
You still have it to this day.
Yeah.
You can easily change your doctor. It's not hard at all.
You
You can look up and see who qualifies for Medi-Cal at other doctors in your area, and you can easily change it.
This is me telling you right now that I've never tried and I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I would love to help you.
I would love for
Something
you.
about
Just
me
let me-
is I love to help people.
Why don't you let me check you out?
Cooper, you've been asking me that for so long, and I don't know what it means.
I'm saying, like, you know, see if you got a cough, you know. how's
He's
your
saying
breathing? Full breath.
that ass though.
You know? Breathe
Cooper,
like that.
what
Just really
what
quick.
qualifications do you have to do this?
Just really quick.
You want me to do that right now?
Yeah, just really quick. Do it again?
No, don't touch me.
I can't. I gotta feel it. I gotta.
No,
see.
you don't get to touch me.
I think your chest is like. You have you tried statin?
No, I haven't. What is it?
It's this thing you take, and like if you take like more than 5 of them, you just go out and you just listen to this girl get plowed, and you smoke a cig, and you get like
You feel awesome.
you get tracers like acid.
Yeah.
You get mad visuals.
Only under those situations, though.
Yeah, but you got to get your heart moving, so you got to like jog around the block.
Yeah, most people's heart is too small, and statin makes it really big.
Yeah,
And big is better.
Yeah, do you sweat enough?
Yeah.
I will just say this. So I got syphilis in 2016.
Ooh,
I
Nietzsche.
believe. I know.
That's very intellectual.
It
of
was
you.
not worth it. It was the last time I smoked meth. But but anyways, I got syphilis.
This is the last time. Sorry.
Long story short, whatever. But if you ever have syphilis, it stays in your body forever.
Right.
So, and syphilis is measured by, they call them titers, Titer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Hey, what's up? I'm tighter.
But you're like, so when you have like syphilis, maybe it's like 1, like if it's very viral, it'll be like 1 to like 256 or whatever, like 1 to 1,000 and something, whatever.
About
But
250
if
titers.
exactly,
Got
if you
about
don't
250
have,
titers in
if
you.
you don't have syphilis, if it's just dormant in your system, which is what you want it to be, it'll be like 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, like a very low thing. It's just like it exists there forever. You don't have it. Anyways, I go to my doctor on Medi-Cal, my first appointment. He brings me in the back room. He's like, I have some really serious news to tell you. And I'm like, I'm a gay man. Every time someone says that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I have HIV.
Right.
Just get it over with. And he's like, you have syphilis. And I was like, okay, can I see my chart? And then he shows me my chart, and it shows my titers are 1 to 1. I was like, oh, I actually don't have syphilis. It's a virus, so it's remaining dormant in my system. And he goes, no, but you have syphilis. I'm going to give you penicillin to get rid of it. And I was like, no, I got penicillin in 2016 to get rid of it, and now it's dormant in my system. And he was like, are you sure? And then I pull up a YouTube video. I have to explain to my fucking straight doctor that I don't need penicillin.
It's so
Is that psycho? Like,
Yeah.
people don't know this, but most doctors are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They just had enough
No,
money
I
to
had
get
that
through med
realization
school.
where it's like, yeah, a lot of doctors just suck. That's part of growing up, I think, is realizing
It's
a lot of doctors
crazy.
suck.
I've had this happen 3 different times with doctors. Every time I see a straight doctor. Oh, also, the guy also goes, he goes, also, by the way, does your partner know that you have HIV? And I was like, no, because I don't.
Right.
And he goes, okay, well, you're taking a medication for people with HIV. And I was like, no, this is PrEP. It's a pre-exposure drug. It makes it so you can't get HIV. And he goes,
so stupid.
oh, okay.
I think you have HIV.
I love that response. Oh.
He's like, no, I wasn't saying that for the drug. I was saying that just because of your vibe.
He's like, I didn't look at charts.
Your mustache is kind of thin enough for me to say your partner needs to watch out.
But that's like, I'm explaining the medication that I'm taking to my freaking doctor. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane.
Anyways, I switched to a gay doctor and I told him, and he was like, happens all the time.
Okay.
Was it hard to find a gay doc? Like, can you request that, or how do you?
I just knew it was like I got referrals from friends. I was like, who should I go to? And they're like, go to this guy, Dr. Gottlieb. Everyone goes to him.
Nice.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I said his name on the pod.
Yeah,
It's a common last name. I had a girlfriend in college with the same last name.
Gottlieb?
Yeah.
Damn,
Your
weird.
dad's a billionaire.
That's a famous name. Somebody famous has it.
No, that's Jared Goldstein.
But that's nuts. You have syphilis, huh?
Yeah, it's just dormant in my system. It's
Does,
cool.
Does it make you smarter?
Yeah. You know, when I went to Portland, I did shows there in 2018, and when Trump was still president, and people would commonly say that, like, I would meet there, they're like, oh, yeah, he has late stages of syphilis. He just never treated it. And I was like, what?
Wait, you do? Or
No.
Oh,
They were
Trump
talking about
does.
Trump, and they were just like, because it deteriorates your brain.
Yeah, that's the nuts thing about syphilis, where it's like it's such a horrible disease, but I feel like it may have the best PR of any sexually transmitted disease because all anyone knows about it are like famous people who have had it.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Like all people know about it is like very smart or influential people have had it.
Well,
Yeah.
because they'd be fucking.
Is that why you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Nietzsche had it, and he seems like a guy who fucks. Like, his big thing is God is dead.
Nietzsche
Like, that
Nietzsche
guy's fucked.
had-
He did
thought
not
that
fuck
ruined
at
his
all.
life.
No, he was a loser. That's what ruined his life.
Losers can
Well,
have
I
sex.
think he had syphilis.
He was
though.
one of the, he did.
Yeah.
He was one of the sad cases of guys like those guys who have sex once and then get the worst STD of
Is
all
that true?
time. Yeah, I think he like didn't fuck a lot.
There's
I
that
think that was the whole
there's
vibe.
that very famous perfumist. I forget what his
Damn.
name is, but he died of syphilis.
Getting trashed
Yeah.
200 years later.
Dude, well, just
getting
getting absolutely young. Well, no, that's why he was
He's
so
not
like.
that old.
I could be wrong with this, but I think that's why he was so like idealizing of like the idea of an Ubermensch or whatever is because he was like, wouldn't it be cool? He was like a Reddit guy who is thinking about like alpha grind set.
He was an incel.
Yeah, he was like an early version.
Yeah, he invented incels. But the Portland thing I thought was funny because as far as any of us know, Donald Trump does not have syphilis. I can't say here or there whether he does, but people were talking to me about it. They're like, oh yeah, that's late stages of syphilis just because everyone in Portland apparently has syphilis. They're like, oh yeah, that's what happens when you don't treat it. You like start tweeting random shit at 3 a.m. and eating McDonald's every day.
Portland's a great city for syphilis.
Imagine being Mike Bloomberg and absolutely getting dunked on by a dude with syphilis.
What, you're saying people with syphilis aren't worth dunking?
Well, no, I'm saying if you have late stages and your brain is deteriorating, I would say that might make it harder to dunk or maybe easier.
Well, Bloomberg should have come back and made fun of his syphilis. 'Cause
Also,
you gotta
Bloomberg
fight
has
fire
way
with
more
fire.
money than Trump, doesn't he? He's just not articulate. Trump won because of the social media wars, right?
I mean,
Against Bloomberg?
he's just good at doing the kind of debate where you don't debate the actual topic.
Work.
Because he's just sort of
Yes,
like,
yes, he's
he
good
just
at
calls someone a
diverting the
liar, and then they say anything. He's like, well, of course you say that. You're a liar.
Right.
I
Or
would
like,
do that in-
Or like, you love the Bible? What's your favorite Bible verse? And he's like, that's a really personal question. I love all of the Bible.
Okay, so I did Google, did Nietzsche fuck?
Yeah.
And Google said, first off, thank you for asking the question. And second off, he was diagnosed with syphilis despite being distinctly uncomfortable with sex. Distinctly uncomfortable.
Why do you even have it?
Did you watch the movie A Dangerous Method?
No.
Distinctly uncomfortable.
If you didn't watch it.
Dude, they're dunking on Nietzsche.
Just say distinctly.
He
just to be like-
hated pussy.
Not only to be like, this guy is like bad at fucking, he's like the Michael Jordan of being, because he not only didn't like sex, probably sucked at it, and probably one of the only.
If you're uncomfortable with having sex, it's already distinct. You don't have to say distinctly.
Yeah.
That is already distinct.
That's like worldwide pandemic. Like, it's just they're just trying to be mean at that
right,
point.
dude. Why are they so mean to the
Also,
dude?
it's wild because there
they're
wasn't
Christians.
Right.
in order for that to be a part of his biography, like they really had to take a measure. You know what I mean? It had to be like a really big part of his life in order for it to get documented.
In Cooper's biography, it's going to say distinctly uncomfortable with poles.
Yeah, I hate him. I think they probably talk about it so much because I think he just started writing shit that was wild. It's like Brian. Sorry, is it John? The guy from the Beach Boys that started taking so much acid that's like just a huge part of what he's remembered by.
Yeah,
because he would just start making like music that just had like 93 instruments.
Can you imagine it took acid to make the Beach Boys music?
Oh, it was post.
Oh,
But
okay.
It is
that
pretty,
makes a lot of sense.
It is pretty funny, yeah. If you took acid and you had a realization where like you and your friends are just sitting around, the one guy's just like ba 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 ba, or just the guys that's just like surfing.
Yeah,
surfing is it, dude.
Wait, you take acid enough to be like the beach is awesome. Imagine if there was a girl that you had sex with in every state.
All we're gonna do is wear striped shirts and talk about the beach.
That is what 12-year-olds, I think, what goes on in their mind when they do acid.
Totally. When 12-year-olds?
I had 12-year-old friends who did acid.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. But I think those are the kind of like realizations they had.
Yeah. I remember with my friends it was a race to trip first, and I won.
Whoa.
And one of our friends, we just always believed he was lying.
How old were you?
It was like freshman year? Or maybe sophomore.
God, you were 14, 15?
I think I was like 15 to 16, yeah.
How have you done acid before?
Yeah.
How old were you?
9.
9.
Boston.
I don't know your history with substances.
Yeah, Boston. Yeah, I'm like a real Boston guy. I do a lot of hallucinogens.
They put acid in our Captain Crunch.
Dude, I love the socks and LSD.
If you ain't dipping your Pop-Tart in some acid in the morning, what the fuck you doing?
It helps me think about Whitey Bulger in different ways.
Just tripping out about Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. But no, I was like 19, 20.
I didn't drink or do any drugs until I was 20.
That's cool.
It's not cool. It just is what it is.
You tripping now?
Which is like what, Cooper 2 years ago. But no, I've done acid probably a handful of times.
It's a good amount, a handful.
I think it's a helpful drug, but not if you're 14 years
Dude,
old.
it was the first time I took it. I was at my friend's house who had a gym in their basement, and the gym was like a good one with all mirrors. And I locked myself in the room with all mirrors, and I just had a horrible experience.
Oh my!
Did you actually lock yourself?
Well, dude, the thing is, I feel like I'm really like I'm pretty mentally stable. Yeah. Like I have a lot of good.
Yeah, you're
mental
a
stability.
Capricorn Sun, Capricorn
Moon. Yeah, Leo rising. But
Damn.
anyway, so it's
Sea-Man
like
rising.
Sea-Man rising. So it's like I think that I like to challenge my mental health sometimes, and that was one of those moments where I was like, all right, let's see the dungeons.
Man,
Let's go
this shit's
into
too easy.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's me dribbling between my legs and taking acid and going into a room full of mirrors.
Yeah.
Dude, it was one of those things where you could see like, it's like a reflection of reflection, so it looks like there's 100 of you. Ooh. I was looking at that, and then like 8th Dan in line stood up while the rest of them sat down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts.
Damn.
And I was like, this is easy. I bodied that.
That's like yourself just being like, that's so funny because I'm punching telephone poles stone cold sober.
Yeah.
Like
that's the scariest thing about it, because every time you said you hit something, I was like, oh, you were drunk. He was driving fast because he was drunk. And you're like, no. I knew exactly what I was
Or no, I had a little bit of bourbon, but not a wild amount.
You love bourbon. God, you're so funny.
I'm truly starting to enjoy the taste like more and more. I really enjoy it. It's just such a good taste of America.
You're just such a funny. No offense. You're just a funny little man with your bourbon. You know what I mean? It's like a silly little man thing to do.
No, I know. I think it's funny because I often kind of feel like a baby who puts on a tuxedo. You know,
you are. Yeah. No. Hey, that's just not you feeling it. We all see it.
Okay. Yeah. Because people see me and they're like, what does he think he looks like? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, yeah. You're not a big boy. What are you doing?
I mean, I think of you as being older than me.
That's
really
hilarious.
Yeah, you were my father.
I think I can just talk monotone enough, but I mean, I'm out here just
you have a low voice,
decking infrastructure.
I was dating a girl, and I told her, because at the time you had a very hot girlfriend, and I told her, oh yeah, Cooper's got a hot girlfriend. She was like, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, I know it does, but why do you think it? She said, because he's skinny and he has a low voice, and that's all you need as a man.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I thought she said I was fiery. Was that another
You're fiery
person?
too. Yeah, no, she mentioned that later, but the initial thing was that you were skinny and you have a low voice, and that's all you need as a man. But you are fire. Yeah, the fieriness helps.
I feel like Cooper would easily be like a great addition to the Euphoria cast.
100%.
He is like a hot, strong beta male.
I would love to be famous just to be just to see how confusing it would be. You know what I mean? Because I would be like a famous queer person. People would be like, I don't get it.
Well, that's what I hate. Is like Hollywood's like, oh well, Pete Davidson is really pissing guys off, and it's like he doesn't. I have a very different build than Pete Davidson, and they're like, oh, guys who hit the gym are so mad at guys like Pete, and it's like, no, he's a fucking handsome, funny guy.
Yeah.
Why? No one is mad at him.
Seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, he seems like a lot.
Yeah.
No one is mad at him. That is completely like drummed up.
As if
publicity.
you're like working at everything, being like, one day I'm gonna win Kim Kardashian's.
Yeah,
heart.
literally. It's like, no, I like to lift weights because it's an activity that I enjoy.
Right.
I'm not even thinking about like even being hot, to be honest with you.
Really?
But no, not really. No, I just like it. I like the activity.
Wow, I'm so vain.
But it would be. I mean, they should start pushing the envelope, and I think Cooper, we have to like make you more fucked up, but you would be a good addition.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is I think if I had Pete Davidson's life, if it was like, oh, like a mentally ill, like skinny white guy that does stand up, and then I get to like, and then I'm like dating all these people, I think that would be the end of this era where people would be like, all right, too much. He's not even tall.
He's
you know
not
what I mean?
even tall.
People would get really mad. They'd be like,
just
all
looks
right.
tall in pictures.
Yeah, they'd be like, what even is hot now? Like, what even, like, we get it. It's like there's context, but yeah,
Right.
I think people would be sick of it. Because I'd be just walking around with like a bruised hand.
Yeah, you have
like,
a broken hand and a tattoo that says "I love music."
Yeah, they're like, why?
they're like, okay.
They're like, he has one
done.
tattoo, and it's one of the most ill-conceived tattoos of all time.
Yeah, they're like, why is he dating Reese Witherspoon? This guy sucks.
Oh my God, he's dating Nikki Heaton. He's dating post-career Nikki Heaton.
Yeah. I just started wearing like suits. I just started dressing like Obama. Like I just
Oh,
wear
that would
suits,
be-
but I have like an American flag. I just dress like a president.
You're wearing the King of Comedy suit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm sorry, mad at this, Jim Bros.
Pete Davidson should start dressing like Steve Harvey. You know what I
That
mean?
would be yeah, that's stoking the fires.
He's getting
I
close.
like that idea.
He could do it in his elder years.
That would be great. An oversized suit on Pete Davidson. It'll happen.
We just gotta.
Right now he's wearing like fishnets and like stockings.
Oh, Matt, can we talk about the show you were on and the confrontation you had with the rich woman?
Can
we talk about that?
Yeah, what was that show called?
It was the
Dick Street.
Dick Street show.
It's a great show.
Sick
Sari,
show.
Sari produces it. It's a really good show.
Incredible show.
I had I feel like I keep saying this like with every set that I have at a good show. It's like my new favorite set. I've just been becoming like I'm just enjoying myself more and more on stage, which is fun.
The audience is 80% rich children.
Everyone in the audience is dressed like a witch. And, they whatever, it's overplayed, but they have it's literally your wardrobe. I'm like, are you guys not on the internet? Like, do you not realize you're a meme? You have You have the like high brimmed black hat. You're wearing
high
a
boots.
leather jacket,
Right.
It's just like you're wearing 17 rings and like
awesome.
somehow have a crystal dangling from your
I
neck.
love that.
So fun to meet a character.
And some piece of fur somehow, but whatever. Anyways, I'm on stage. I'm having fun, but I don't remember like the gist of the. I continually kept talking to this girl in the audience, and I was making jokes about how wealthy she was, and I was like, yeah, like I've never been wealthy in my life, but like it's great that you're here or whatever, and, like,
Right.
just throwing her under the bus a little bit, but it was like very cheeky.
Could you see her face?
Yes, she was front row.
Was she?
And she was laughing, and then all of her, she was being kind of coy, but it seemed like she was kind of like tossing it back to me, being like, "Oh, okay, you jokester, like
Being
I'm gonna
silly.
get back at you." But all of her friends were dying laughing.
Right.
And I'm like, her friends love it. I'm sure they're all loving it. It's awkward when you're the person that's the center of attention, so that's probably why she's not like. Just like
her friends are laughing in a way where they're like, "Oh, it's so funny that he is right about Sarah being."
and then I was
rich."
making fun of them too. I was like, "Shut up, dude! You're wearing boat shoes."
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just like, "You're just as bad as she is." But anyways, the show finishes. I have a really, really fun set, really good. I get off stage, and then she walks up to me and she goes, "That was unfair what you did up there." And I was like, "Oh," and
Unfair.
I'm being very earnest. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "You don't know a goddamn thing about my life. I have worked every day that I have been alive.
Dude, you've told us the story before. It doesn't get worse.
Every day I've been alive rocks so hard.
One, I can tell looking in her eyes that she is blackout, and her friends are behind her giving like the cut the throat like hand signal. They're like, sorry, like she's
no, they're telling
like,
you to kill her. They're asking you to kill her.
All of them, they're also drunk, and they're repeatedly talking over her, and they're being like, you're fine, dude, you were so funny, don't worry about it, like you were great, blah blah blah.
And they're also just like, you're totally right about her life. 100%, dude.
And then she looks at me dead in the eye and she goes, I'm gonna stay here the entire night. and I like as if that was a threat. And I was like, that's great. I am poor, so I'm going to work immediately right now. I have to go work just like you have been doing every day for the past 26 years of your life.
And I said this when you first said the story, but it's like, if you have worked every single day of your life and someone you have to work. So essentially she's saying either I am wealthy because of my hard work, or she's saying that she's under, because if you're working every day of your life, I mean, we don't live in like, you know, we're not in a place where there's like factories that take child labor.
Yeah, the Constitution's been broken if that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to do a documentary about this woman.
She's
if it's
like,
true.
I just escaped from this coal mine 6 hours ago and stumbled into a free people. Okay,
but
yeah.
What's funny is either she's denying being rich, which if you're denying being rich, you're saying you're not rich, and if you're not rich, you know what is a really good feeling is when people are like, hey, you look rich.
Yeah, you made a good point when I first said this, and that was you said if she really was not a rich person, she would have just enjoyed that.
If she was working class, dude, and you were like, "Oh, you look rich," that means like, "Oh yeah, you
were
put
the butt
yourself
of the
together."
joke. You don't take it. Also, I did earnestly ask her, and I was like, "Have you been to a comedy show before?" And she was like, "No, I haven't." And I was like, "Okay,
I had to work.
I was working.
This is my first day off.
I haven't seen the sun."
That'd be funny if you just kept going back to like every answer was like, no, because I was at work.
It's crazy because I felt really bad, and I felt like a lot. I was like, damn, you know, I don't know. It feels bad. You don't ever want to get off stage and have someone who like has nothing to do with it. You don't want them to leave your show feeling hurt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I was like trying to understand, and everyone around me was like, Matt, like that person.
That's the hard thing about crowd work, though, is like your default brain, because you're in fight or flight mode too, which people in the audience don't necessarily understand. Where it's like if you see something like weird or funny, you have to fight the impulse to like point it out in a way that would seem terse, because it's like, because I was doing shows and there was this dude who had like, I thought it was a mullet, and then it turned out to be an even weirder haircut where it was like a shave bowl. It was like literally a bowl cut, but it was put up like Justin Bieber on the top. Okay. So like bowl cut, but up to this. It was like weird looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that a mullet? And then it wasn't. I was like, what the fuck is that? But I had to stop myself because I was like, oh, don't just bully the guy. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, what do you call that haircut? We ended up having a good conversation about it, but it's like, yeah, saying I've worked every day of my life is the most rich person piece of shit thing to say in that situation.
I've worked at Halliburton every day of my life.
Because you're not insulting this girl. You're not being like, oh, you're bad or whatever. You're saying you seem wealthy. You look rich.
I was talking about my life and how I like wasn't doing well financially, and I was like, oh, then like she was laughing, and I was like, okay, leather jacket, keep on smirking, or you know, like things like that, where I was just like, if
she was an actual person, like an actual working class person, she would just give you her hours and give you her job. Notice how she didn't give you her job or her hours.
No,
right.
I've worked every day like taking money
like,
from my
parents.
I'm a
manager at Ralph's, and I worked my way up from a bag girl when I was 12 years old.
I have worked every day patiently waiting for my trust fund to come in. Do you know how hard it is?
My brother works like 30-hour shifts, and he never talks about it. He's a fisherman. He'll go out on the sea for like months and then fish for like 30-hour shifts where they take maybe like an hour break in the middle. But now, when he comes back, he's not like, do you know what I have been through?
No, he's just happy that now he gets to get plastered.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like she should have been like, why would I, like any person that works hard would be like, I'm not getting mad today.
Oh my God. No.
Work.
She would be too focused on having fun.
Exactly. She'd be like,
I'm sorry, if you get off of work, like a factory job or whatever, you're not going to go to Dick Street.
Yeah, you're not going to Dick Street either.
You don't want to hear about
it's $20 a ticket, and one of the ticket options is to sit in a hot tub.
Yeah. Dick Street is great. It has some of the funniest comics of all time, but it's not like you want to go to the Ha Ha and listen to a guy basically do what like Carlos Mencia was doing 20 years ago.
Yes.
It's also like she is wearing a hat.
You
know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
If
Do you think people like working class people are walking around big hats all the time?
Totally, yeah. Sometimes.
All right.
That's not it. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're like really working every single day of your life, accessorizing seems.
I
like
worked
you
in
would
a
have less
factory.
time.
I worked in a factory with a guy who was truly there every day of his life. He had a kid when he was like 15,
And you
was
wear a
just
big
grinding.
hat.
No, he had even better. He had a pompadour haircut that was so big it looked like a top hat, and I'm not kidding. I am not exaggerating how big he looked like Abe Lincoln. He looked like he was a Mexican dude. He looked like Mexican Abe Lincoln.
Do you ever watch like the Fairly Odd Parents?
That
Right?
dude.
Yeah.
I never put two and two together.
Wait,
He
which character from the Fairly Odd Parents?
There's like the fucking like the Elvis guy, right?
Yeah,
there's
there's
like
an
a
Elvis
that-
guy.
He pretty much just looks like Elvis.
He
and
looked
has-
exactly like that. Dude.
Yeah. Okay.
It was awesome. It's like no, I don't. I think I don't think that like class affects like your accessorizing.
You're
You
right.
know what I mean?
I apologize. It is funny to imagine though if you asked him, you were like, "Hey, are you like an Elvis impersonator?" And he was like, "No," and you're like, "It's so weird." Then.
No, he was the chillest dude of all time. He was the guy who was with me when the other guy admitted to murder, and he was like, the dude was like, I killed a guy. He was like, no, man, you didn't kill anyone. Like, but not in a way where he was like, no, you didn't kill anyone. But like,
Yeah.
he was like,
no,
"Oh, you're a
that's
good guy.
funny.
You
You're
know,
playing."
No, he was like, no, you didn't kill anyone." And then the guy went into.
You
the
didn't call him
story.
a devil in disguise.
No, but he was very disappointed when the guy admitted. Where I didn't give a shit either. I was
Yeah.
like, oh damn, that's crazy. But he was like, oh man.
That's also like not something you can talk someone out of because it could be like, "Oh man, like you don't hate golf, you just had a bad day." But it's like, no, I killed somebody. Like they're
was
dead.
this guy on parole, or did he never go to prison?
No, he
for
went to
his
jail
crime?
and he just got off. It was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
it had been.
killed a
He
guy
was like he
and-
was a grown dude. Yeah, he was an older
The
dude.
judge was like, "Yeah, we didn't like that guy."
You know what's good about going to jail is like you have to pay for your crimes, but you also get the return of being able to talk about the crimes.
Is that true? After you go to jail.
I mean,
you
I'm
can-
saying he
once you've
doesn't
been
have to-
acquitted,
Yeah.
you can't be charged double jeopardy.
Yeah, he
Right,
doesn't
double
have to be
jeopardy.
worried
I
about
saw the movie with Ashley Judd.
going, getting arrested.
Have you seen that movie?
no.
Oh my God, have you? No, of course.
Whoa.
Hey man.
Tommy
Whoa.
Lee Jones at double jeopardy.
Yeah.
I love Tommy Lee Jones.
Cooper has a poster in his room of Tommy Lee
Yeah,
Jones.
that's a very funny thing that you're like, of course you haven't seen it. Tommy Lee Jones is in it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. I like cool movies and stuff. I'm a bit of a cinephile. Do you know a guy named Tommy
Yeah,
Lee Jones?
you person that we've talked about having anger issues, you must hate Tommy Lee Jones.
Cooper, what's
Something Pan you did this week. I gotta say, punching a telephone pole very straight.
Yeah,
That's your straight side.
We're gonna ask each
Yeah.
other what's something that we do.
Honestly,
every
it's been a pretty straight week because I punched a telephone pole, and today a big thing was trying to figure out if I could still play guitar. So, I've
which
just
is
been-
coming back in the pan community.
Yeah, I've been
I
listening
think
to the
straight
Grateful
people
Dead.
have it's kind of hack at this point in the straight community, and the pans have adapted it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm just being who I am now. I just listen to Grateful Dead and punch telephone
Oh
poles.
yeah,
The thought of being a guitar player has brought down the lives of so many straight men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad I quit music at least because comedy's not surefire. But God, if I still thought I could be a musician,
Oof.
you could be a rapper for sure.
well, thank you so much.
You punch walls.
I should be a famous freestyler.
Are you on dating apps?
I deleted Tinder and Hinge because
Can I
can't-
ask? Oh, because
Oh,
what?
so you're grinder only.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're just looking to smash.
Well, I mean, honestly, I would have a relationship, but the more and more I try to have one, the more and more I realize I'm not in a place to. Like last night, I was like, yeah, I kind of get why I'm not attracting people. Like even through the pictures and the bio on Tinder, I feel like people can see me punching a telephone pole.
Well, no, I think you're just you're a hard worker and not putting yourself in positions to date.
Also, like
don't
I would
Hard
never
worker.
I would never listen to this when I was 22. I'm not that much. Well, I'm 28, but like
No, that's a huge-
when I
that's a
think
huge
about
difference.
being 22 and I was so desperate to be in a relationship, I'm like, why the fuck was I not just focused on you work
Yeah.
at the Comedy Store, you're doing so well for yourself. Like if you stay on the track that you're doing, in 3 years you're going to be doing Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that
I
was
mean, I
supposed to be
feel-
like a cheers.
I when I think about, I mean, that's my problem. I think that's why I'm very scared, because like in the past few months, I've kind of just been like, hooking up, also just kind of hanging out like casually with people, and any like bit of like them kind of needing me, I start to like clam up horribly, and then I
Right.
feel really bad because I'm like, oh, I can't actually like give them a lot of my life.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Like the minute someone starts texting me every day, I like freak out. And so that's why I'm like, well, Cooper, like, I think you like the idea of a relationship, but the brass tacks of it is like, it's a whole nother thing in your life. It's like not in a negative way, but it's like similar to a job where it's like you have hours to put in, you know what I mean? And like, obviously you like doing it, but you know, it's not, it shouldn't be a chore.
That awareness is really great.
Yeah. I mean, I would like ruin someone's life if I dated them right now.
That's
but,
you're giving yourself a lot of credit.
but thank you so much. But I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be a
If
fuckboy.
anyone tries to date me, I will ruin,
ruin
you.
you.
I will.
No, I mean, but
Matt, something gay?
I have been hyping up the new season of Euphoria.
You really
so
have,
hard.
dude. I feel like they're paying you. Do they send like
I do this with everything that I watch, and I was obsessed with the show Yellow Jackets, and I was like, it's incredible. It has Melanie Linsky, Juliette Lewis, and Christina Ricci. They were all child actors, and now they're killing it as middle-aged women. And I was on a hike, and I said that spiel to someone, and my friend who I was with is like, do you work for Showtime?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is wrong with me? I wish I was this way with myself.
you do hype up a lot, like even like Medi-Cal
I'm
earlier.
such a good. I know. You
just
guys
go
should
hard.
make under $30,000.
no, dude. If we ever get sponsors, I mean, you're the perfect corporate
I'm
shill.
obsessed with promoting things that aren't myself.
Oh.
Medi-Cal.
But yesterday I was with a friend who I hadn't seen in a year, and I just started describing the season 2 premiere of Euphoria, and I was like, I could not oversell this show because it is one of the best episodes of television I have ever watched.
Oh.
And I just went into detail, and I would still say this, I have chills now just thinking about that episode because we ended up watching the whole thing together yesterday instead of hanging out.
Yeah.
We watched it. He turned it on. He was like, I have to watch this. And he was blown away.
That's a really good answer.
I made him watch it. I made the guy I'm dating watch it. Yeah. I've seen it 3 times.
Making the
now.
guy your date watch
And he loved it.
Euphoria,
And he loved it. That was a
But
big
I'm
thing.
saying that might be the highest level. What's something you did this week that you have had?
Yeah, you topped it.
That's topped out. I don't know how.
I topped him and I topped it.
Did you have gay sex soon after? Or the same night? Just to
He
put a button on it?
You know what? I didn't watch the episode with him. I made him watch it, and he texted me and confirmed by sending me anecdotes from the episode.
Okay.
But we had sex the night before, and we had sex yesterday when I
Okay.
could not come.
That's
Great.
cool.
And I
Right.
cleaned out, hoping that he would fuck me, and I didn't ask for it, and so I just ended up fucking him.
There you go.
You have to ask for what you want. in
I
this
do. I was.
life. You can prep as much as you want, but if you're not,
God damn.
I clean out just because it makes me feel special.
You do an enema every single day.
I just wanted to be ready because sometimes we get in that space where it's like, oh, maybe he wants to put his dick in me.
It's
and
part of my
like, I
morning
was just like, I
routine.
should be ready.
You sit on the ladies' window,
Right.
smoke a cig, do an
With an
enema.
enema.
Yeah.
What's something straight that you did, Daniel Donahue?
Well, let me think. Oh yeah, I mean, my gay ass girlfriend. I took her to a party. I mean that I'm not. She's one. I mean, she is mostly attracted to women, or not mostly attracted to women, but like
Is she?
she's. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's both. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
flipping her.
I'm flipping her.
Is she like somewhat making an exception? She's like 60.
No,
40?
no. She's not making an exception, but she is like more aware of her attraction to
Has
women.
she
I
dated
think.
women in the past?
Yeah. She's been with women. Yeah.
Why is
But-
that hot to me as a gay man?
I don't know, dude. That's embedded in your
I
DNA.
need to talk to my therapist.
But
Because not applying to constructs is hot.
no, I think it just makes her way more. I'm like, oh, I immediately was like, damn, I love this girl.
But I took her.
I've never met her.
I took her to this party or this outing, and there's like a bunch of people. There's this one new person there, and I was like, oh, I'll bet you she's gonna think this new person is so hot. And then there's another person that I knew who is like different person who I wasn't really thinking of. And we left, and the first thing my girlfriend says is not the girl that I thought she was gonna say, but this other one. She was like, she is so fine, and I was like, I don't know anything about you. I can't even I couldn't even get into her brain. It was so difficult for me.
Isn't that? Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, well, I'm just saying it's difficult for me because it's I'm in a place where I am so.
You're I knew we were going this direction, and then you went the other way.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of left out because I am only attracted to women, and it's in certain situations. Because I mean, in LA, I'm often in situations where people are at least pan-ish.
Everyone in LA is bisexual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's
or saying that they're bisexual to get cast in a movie.
So I felt like I couldn't get into her mentality in that moment where I was like, what was it about her? And she had to describe it to me, and I was like, that's fucking so interesting.
That'd be funny if it really started confusing you about why she's attracted to you. You were like, what?
Yeah, I kind of feel it. Well, I feel because I'm not saying that I'm ugly or anything, but she is a woman who I think could be with kind of anyone, and so I am oh, it is weird that you're with me.
Oh, that's so nice you think that.
Yeah,
I mean, you're crushing it though. I don't.
No, things are good.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk myself down or whatever, but I think it's a thought that anyone has where it's when you're with someone where I feel like she could be with anyone. Sometimes you do kind of sit back and you go damn, cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, yeah. You
also, it's
that.
Don't you want to be dating someone where you feel
100%.
I feel you want to date someone who you feel like is out of your league.
100%.
The guy I'm dating, I'm like, why the hell are you with me?
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry to go off on a tangent there.
No, that's not a tangent.
But this
People
is
love
great.
love.
This is a great one. I'm happy we're starting with this one.
It's good.
All right.
Don't forget, Cooper is pansexual.
Yep. Listen to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on. What do we do?
WhatsApp.
We got
WhatsApp. Hit us up on WhatsApp.
Please Cash App us.
Cash App.
We're on Coinbase.
No,
Yeah.
we have Instagram and Twitter. They're both at Sissy Boys
Pod.
Yeah, so just make sure you tune in, have fun, and Toyotathon is coming up soon, so get excited about that. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye.